Hey, okay, so we're going to be talking about outside play, and I'm going to give you a bit of a scenario to explain where this thought process comes from. Okay, so your little one comes home from school, and you open up the bag, and inside the bag, you see this packet, and it's full of wet clothes, and it's full of shoes that are covered in sand, and the pockets are filled with sand, and you sit there thinking, what on earth are these teachers doing with my kid? Now, before you get yourself all worked up, I want you to find out the benefits of outside play. You see, outside play is not inside talking about the outside. It's not inside looking at the leaves and the sand and the grass and the butterflies. It's physically going outside and enjoying being outside. Okay? Now, most schools have what they call outside play. And if you have a look at the roster, it takes up roughly 60% of the day's activities. And I'm going to explain why that is. Outside play encourages a child to socialize, explore, express themselves, but most importantly, it starts to teach them about math, science, biology, all those kind of things. You might be thinking, what? I don't understand it. I don't get it. What do you mean? Okay. A child who sits inside of a sandbox, he's going to learn to share, because I can guarantee you there's never enough of the same color, shape, size, type of bucket, spade, mold, sieve, you name it. Never enough. They're going to have to wait, and they're going to have to learn to share. Because you have a large variety of age groups, and a lot of them intermix in educators, you're going to have your 18 to 24 months who are still learning to share. They're going to have to learn, they're going to have to learn to share. Then slightly older, they're going to have to learn to resolve conflict, because guaranteed someone is going to get upset. So they're going to have to learn to talk about it. It's not at the level that you and I know of conflict resolution, but it's going to be on a level that they understand. And with that, they're going to learn to work together. And I'm going to come to that a little bit later. You see, just going back to the math and the science and the biology, your little one is going to understand, or learn to understand, that a full bucket of sand, compacted to a certain degree, will create a sandcastle that's not going to quite hold its weight, and it's going to fall apart. And they're going to learn that a sandcastle compacted to another degree is going to hold its weight. But that dry sand's not going to hold its size. That sloppy, wet, muddy sand isn't going to hold its shape either. But sand in between, it will. And it's going to make this perfect sandcastle that just stands there and shows him, well done, bud, you did it right. And then in saying that, they're going to know that one spade of sand is not going to fill the bucket, but 5 might. So in that, they learn to count. Different types of sand textures is great for tactile sensitive children. And you might think, but my kid hates sand. True. And you'll find that some kids won't even embrace it. But you'll find those kids who don't mind sand, but they're not all that keen on different types. The more they play in it, the more they learn to be okay with it. I don't mean like it, but they learn to be okay with it. And it's good for them. It's good for kids to feel different types of textures. And you'll often find in educare activities or preschool activities, or, you know, whatever you want to call that age group or that type of schooling, they will deal with different types of textures for arts and crafts to also encourage the feel and the see and the smell and everything. Sorry. You'll find that sand is also very therapeutic for kids who are going through a rough patch in their home life. They will often sit in the sand for hours and just take a spade and watch the sand fall. It's very calming. it's almost having the same effect of being next to a waterfall. And if you sit with them long enough and you talk to them, they will tell you about what's going on at home. Most kids will not keep a secret. And you'll also just see the way they interact with others and the way they are, and often and not you'll pick up what's going on. So it's very therapeutic. Also, if you have sand of different color, they'll have fun mixing it and seeing how the colors change and what they can create with it. So they also learn about primary colors and mixing colors. Then apart from sand play, you have water play. Sorry, I'm looking down because I got notes. Okay, so you have water play. Now water play is also just as important as sand, and the concept is still kind of the same, because again you deal with different types of, in a sense, texture. You can add gelatin to the water to make it not quite watery, but it's not hard. You can also add food coloring to the water. It's messy, but kids love it. You can add ice to the water, so they feel the water temperature changing, so it gets cooler and then it warms up again. You can have different types of toys in the water, like boats and wheels and buckets and all sorts of things like that. And they will soon realize, in a certain level of water, my boat won't float. In a little bit more water, my boat will float, but it will kind of touch the bottom, and a bit more, and we won't have any problems. Put a water wheel in the water and you pour it. You got to pour it at a certain speed and consistency in order for the wheel to turn continuously. Whereas if I pour it too fast or too slow, it doesn't work. So they learn about measures and weights. They learn how, like 500 ml bucket is not going to fill a 1 liter bucket. It's the same as the sand, but it's a different element that they're working with. So different children will stick. Okay. Then outside play in general, monkey bars, scooters, swings, tunnels, jungle gyms, skipping ropes, dolls' houses, whatever you want to call it. They are just as important as sand and water play. You see monkey bars, jungle gyms, scooters, skipping ropes, swings, they all build muscle. And muscle development is crucial for core strength, confidence, emotional maturity, brain growth, writing, communication, sharing, problem solving, and creating pretend and imaginative play. Now, core strength, emotional maturity, muscle development, writing, you think, okay, yeah, I can see that. But how does, brain growth fix this? Your body doesn't work in a straight line. It works cross hemispheres. So if you have to get your body to work together, the left and the right side to work together, it creates the left and the right hemisphere, creates an electrical pulse, and it travels across the synapses and it creates a memory, which is important. And how does it create imaginative play or pretend play? How many times were you on a jungle gym as a kid and you look down, you're like, there's lava, I can't fall, I'm gonna die, you need to hurry, come get me, jump on the tires, okay, there's sharks, they're coming. It's imaginative play. And it was fun and you enjoyed it as a kid. I did. And I love encouraging kids to be outside. And the last thing about outside play is it doesn't only have to happen at school. It can happen at home, it can happen at granny's, it can happen in the park, it can happen at friends. So the next time you come home and you open that bag and you see wet clothes and dirty shoes, remember that your child learned something new today and more than likely had to solve a problem, had to learn to share, and that his body just learned a little bit more and his core strength got a little bit better. And it's important, and know that your little one is growing up And it's sad because you think, but I don't want him to grow up. I want him to be small and I want to keep him little. But you can't. And sometimes we prevent them from doing what they want to do. You know, they want to go outside and play. And we say, no, you can't. All we're doing is hindering their growth. So grow with them. Go outside and swing, pretend. Enjoy your little one. I'll see you next time. Oh, hit the thumbs up button. Tell me that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Hit the subscribe button because it's for free. Comment below if you want to know anything or if you want to tell me off. Or anything like that. Hopefully you just want to say hi. And come back tomorrow for another video. Bye.